Hey, guys, welcome back to the channel, or if you're new here, hi, I'm your host, and you're about to dive into one of the creepiest true crime cases I've ever covered. This is the story of Eliza Crane, a 24-year-old writer who vanished from a small Massachusetts town in 2018, leaving behind nothing but questions, and a mysterious manuscript some say is cursed. We're talking disappearances, cryptic clues, and a book tied to centuries of tragedy. This is a deep dive, so grab a coffee, get comfy, and let's unravel the vanishing of Eliza Crane. Hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and let's get started. Before we get to the spooky stuff, let's talk about who Eliza Crane was. Born in 1994 in Portland, Oregon, Eliza was the kind of person you'd instantly vibe with. She was a dreamer, a bookworm, and a total creative spirit. I mean, she's the friend who'd drag you to a used bookstore and get lost in the stacks for hours. Her best friend, Maya Torres, described her as curious to a fault, always chasing stories, especially ones with a dark edge. Eliza grew up in a tight-knit family, with her mom, Patricia, and older brother, Ethan, who said she'd been writing stories since she could hold a pen. In 2017, at 23, Eliza made a bold move. She left Portland for Ashwood, Massachusetts, a small coastal town with colonial charm and a slightly creepy vibe. Why Ashwood? She wanted to write her first novel, a historical fiction piece about a 17th-century writer who made a pact with a shadowy figure for inspiration. Yeah, that's gonna be important later. Eliza rented a tiny apartment above the Raven's Nest, a used bookstore where she worked part-time as a barista and cashier. The bookstore's owner, Clara Hensley, said Eliza was obsessed with rare manuscripts, often spending her breaks digging through dusty shelves. By mid-2018, Eliza was deep into her novel, posting cryptic updates on her Instagram like, "Found something that changes everything." Her friends noticed she was acting off. Maya told me in an email that Eliza seemed consumed by her research, especially after she bought a strange book at an estate sale in August 2018. That book? It's called the Codex Umbra, and it's at the heart of this mystery. Let's set the scene, October 12, 2018. It's a chilly fall evening in Ashwood. Eliza's working the closing shift at the Raven's Nest, locking up around 8 p.m. Her coworker, Liam Carter, said she seemed distracted, muttering about patterns in the text and something watching her. Liam didn't think much of it, she'd been acting weird for weeks, but he noticed she clutched a tattered notebook like her life depended on it. The next morning, October 13th, Eliza didn't show up for her 9 a.m. shift. Liam, worried, went upstairs to her apartment. The door was unlocked, which was weird. Eliza was super paranoid about locking up. Inside, the apartment was untouched. Her phone, wallet, and keys were on the kitchen counter. Her laptop was open, screen glowing. And on her desk? The Codex Umbra, its cover etched with symbols that looked wrong, somehow. Liam called the police, and Ashwood's small department, led by Detective Sarah Whitaker, responded. Whitaker, a no-nonsense investigator with 15 years on the force, noted no signs of a struggle. No fingerprints, no blood, no forced entry. It was like Eliza just walked out. But here's where it gets creepy. Her laptop was open to a Word document titled, "The Manuscript's Truth." One sentence was typed, "It knows what I know. I don't know about you, but that gives me chills." The police bagged the manuscript as evidence but didn't think much of it at first. They focused on standard theories. Did Eliza run away? Was she abducted? Did she have a mental health crisis? Her family and friends were adamant. She loved her life in Ashwood, had no reason to leave, and no history of mental health issues. Patricia, Eliza's mom, said, "Eliza was my dreamer, but she wasn't reckless. Something took her." Alright, guys, we're just getting started, but let's take a quick break to talk about today's sponsor, insert sponsor name. They've got, insert product/service, perfect for, insert benefit. Insert 60-second ad read. Okay, back to the case. Let's talk about that manuscript and why it's so freaking creepy. The Codex Umbra is no ordinary book. It's about 200 pages, handwritten in Latin, with intricate illustrations of shadowy figures, cryptic symbols, and what look like star charts. Experts who've studied it, well, the few brave enough to touch it, date it to the early 1600s, likely from France or England. Its origins are murky, but the first recorded owner was Étienne Moreau, a French alchemist in 1623. According to his journals, Etienne claimed the book whispered secrets in his dreams, promising forbidden knowledge. A year later, Etienne vanished, and the codex disappeared with him. It resurfaced in 1789 in London, owned by Margaret Hale, a poet who wrote about shadows that watch. Her final poem, found after her disappearance, described a dark scribe who demanded her soul. The codex popped up again in 1850 in New Orleans, owned by a collector named Samuel Voss, who died in a fire that spared only the manuscript. By the 1900s, it was in America, passing through private collectors, each meeting some kind of misfortune, bankruptcies, accidents, you name it. In 2018, Eliza bought the codex at an estate sale in Ashwood, hosted by the family of Victor Klein, a reclusive scholar who died in 2017 under mysterious circumstances. The seller, antique dealer Thomas Reed, later told police he felt uneasy handling the book, like it was watching him. Okay, I know this sounds like something out of a horror movie, but the pattern is hard to ignore. Every owner of the Codex Umbra either disappears or meets a bad end. And now, Eliza's part of that pattern. Detective Sarah Whitaker took charge of the case, interviewing everyone close to Eliza. Her mom, Patricia, said Eliza had been obsessed with the codex for weeks, staying up all night translating its Latin text. Her ex-boyfriend, Noah Bennett, told police Eliza had cut contact, saying she was too close to the truth. Her journal, found in her apartment, was filled with entries like, "The codex is alive. It's watching me, and I see it in my dreams." The police searched Ashwood, local woods, the harbor, even a nearby lake. They checked CCTV footage, but Ashwood's cameras were spotty, and the only footage showed Eliza leaving the bookstore alone. They looked at Noah as a suspect, but he had a solid alibi, working a night shift at a local bar. With no leads, the police turned to the Codex Umbra, sending it to a forensic lab. The results? No fingerprints except Eliza's. The ink and paper were consistent with 17th century materials, but the lab noted unusual chemical traces they couldn't identify. Weird, right? I reached out to Dr. Evelyn Harper, a historian at Boston University who studies occult texts. Dr. Harper said the codex's symbols resemble those used by the Order of the Black Veil, a 17th century secret society obsessed with communing with shadows. She warned that translating such texts could be psychologically taxing, as they were designed to trap the reader's mind. Dr. Harper refused to examine the codex in person, saying, "Some things are better left untouched." Okay, I'm not saying I believe in curses, but that's spooky. What do you guys think? Drop a comment below, cursed book or just a creepy coincidence? We're deep in this mystery, but let's pause for a quick word from our sponsor, insert sponsor name. Insert 60-second ad read. Alright, let's dive back in, because things are about to get even weirder. Ashwood isn't just a cute New England town, it's got a dark side. In the 1800s, it was home to a cult called the Children of the Veil, who believed in shadow entities that granted knowledge at a cost. Local legend says the Codex Umbra was their sacred text, used in rituals to summon these entities. When the cult was shut down in 1847 after a series of disappearances, the book vanished, until it reappeared in the 20th century. Eliza's friend Maya told me she saw Eliza drawing the codex's symbols on her apartment walls. Maya said, it was like she was in a trance. She kept saying, "They're here. I don't know about you, but that's not normal behavior." Was Eliza caught up in something supernatural, or was the codex just messing with her head? Let's break down the theories. Theory 1, Runaway. Maybe Eliza got overwhelmed, her novel, The Codex, Life in a New Town. But her family says no way. She was happy in Ashwood, and leaving her phone and wallet behind doesn't add up. Theory 2, Foul Play. The police looked at everyone, Noah, Liam, even Clara, the bookstore owner. But there's no evidence of a struggle, no witnesses, nothing. Theory 3, The Supernatural. Some locals believe the Codex Umbra is cursed, and Eliza's obsession pulled her into something else. Then there's Theory 4, she's still out there. In 2020, antique dealer Thomas Reed came forward, saying he sold the codex at Victor Klein's estate sale. He claimed he saw a woman resembling Eliza in 2019 at a bookstore in Boston, holding a similar book. In 2023, an anonymous tipster sent Ashwood police a photo of a woman who looked like Eliza, taken in a small Maine town. The woman was gone by the time police investigated. Could Eliza be hiding, running from the codex's curse? Okay, guys, we're unraveling this mystery, but let's take one more quick break for our sponsor. Insert sponsor name. Insert 60-second ad read. Back to it. Let's wrap this up. Eliza Crane's case remains unsolved. The Codex Umbra sits in an Ashwood PD evidence locker, untouched since 2019. Detective Whitaker retired in 2022, but she told me she still thinks about Eliza. It's the one case I couldn't crack, she said. Part of me hopes Eliza's out there, living a new life, free from whatever darkness the Codex brought. But the other part? It wonders if the curse is real, if something ancient claimed her. What do you think? Is the Codex Umbra just an old book, or is it something more? Drop your theories in the comments, and if you want more deep dives like this, give this video a thumbs up. I've got a playlist of other true crime cases you can check out. Thanks for sticking with me through this wild ride. Stay curious, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.